Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Gustafson, you began your testimony talking about FirstNet. Let me follow up. As we know, the FirstNet was established by the Fiscal Cliff Bill in 2012, tasking FirstNet with building and operating a nationwide public safety broadband network. RFPs were issued to the private sector entities last year. Am I correct that states do have the option to opt out of FirstNet network deployment, provided these states build their own radio access networks?
That's exactly right, Senator. Once the RFP, once the contract's been awarded and the details are out, the states are going to have the option to opt out and take the responsibility of building the network themselves and with the requirement that they meet the FirstNet requirements. But yes, there's an opt-out provision.
Particularly interoperability requirements. Yes, ma'am. Now, on December 5th, 2014, the Department of Commerce, OIG, issued a report discussing missteps the board made following establishment of FirstNet. OIG conducted an investigation following allegations concerning conflicts of interest and inappropriate contract procedures. In light of the December 2014 report's findings, FirstNet entered into a memorandum of understanding pursuant to the Economy Act with DOC OIG. On June 8 of last year, DOC OIG staff informed the committee staff that FirstNet had decided to cancel the MOU, believing that the startup difficulties the organization had faced were now resolved. Am I correctly informed that that indeed did take place, and as a result, will OIG continue to have a dedicated FirstNet team?
You are correct, Senator, that my understanding is that did take place, but that did not change our responsibilities or our intent on overseeing FirstNet. We still have a dedicated team. We are undergoing reviews now, and again, as I had noted in my opening statement, when this contract is awarded for tens of billions of dollars, we will continue our oversight. The only wrinkle for us is now it becomes something that we have to that we will do with the funds that we are given by Congress, but it's
and that's the result, and the only result of this cancellation of the MOU.
It requires some shifting of priorities with our money, but FirstNet as a top management challenge is a huge risk, and it remains high on our list and subject to oversight by us, yes.
Does the OIG have cooperation, not only from FirstNet, but other parts of the Department of Commerce?
Yes, my understanding is that we are having no issues whatsoever with cooperation, either from FirstNet or from the other bureaus.
Keep us informed on that.
Absolutely.
Mr. Scoville, let me ask you about unmanned aircraft systems. We've called it various things, but now it's, I think the term we're supposed to use is UAS. Is it true that although there's been demand for civil UAS operations, there is still no practical test that operators take?
That is correct, Senator. Some operators are required to take a knowledge test, but not a practical test in terms of going out to the field and demonstrating that they can safely fly and operate a UAS or a drone.
Now, I'm told by my friends at Mississippi State University that there are a number of UAS centers of excellence which have test sites at 23 locations across the country, including Mississippi, North Dakota, Kansas, Indiana, and New Mexico, to name a few states represented on this committee. Wouldn't those be good centers to develop demonstration processes and provide the practical tests necessary?
They very well might, and the centers of excellence that were created by Congress and FAA legislation several years ago were designed with just that in mind. FAA, I know, has encouraged industry and other stakeholders to consider using these centers of excellence for any and all purposes UAS related.
This is not a decision that requires statutory change, is it?
I don't believe it does, but what it does require would be continued partnership And I say continued because FAA, to its credit, has engaged in substantial partnership already with the burgeoning UAS industry, but continued that partnership between FAA, industry stakeholders, and of course the Centers of Excellence themselves, to see how the facilities and capabilities of the centers might serve the needs of industry as they seek to grow the business.
Thank you, sir.